Hey guys, how's it going? This is 3 Points Dave here for BeerLeagueHeroes.com. Dave for all things Oilers news and notes presented by Beer League Heroes. This vlog is going to be about the development or lack thereof for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I just got a few names off the top of my head. I'm just going to list guys off. I'm not really going to comment a whole lot about each person because this isn't going to be a very long vlog. But, the guys that the Oilers have given up on too early or they just flat out, haven't developed. I'll explain this. Now, the reason why they haven't developed them, there was a time when we didn't have a farm club, okay? There was a time when we were sharing a farm club with Dallas and with Montreal. And when you're sharing a farm club with those teams' farm clubs, your players aren't going to play a lot, right? So, Tony Salmelainen, Devin Dubnyk, there was times when he didn't play much at all when he was supposed to be getting developed because we were, sometimes we didn't have a farm club, sometimes we were sharing farm clubs, right? Mike Bishai, I think it was a free agent signing, but I don't remember. Alexei Mikhnov, Yanni Rita, Tony Salmelainen. Now, Yanni Rita, I think we personally gave up on him a little too early because I don't think he got developed properly to begin with, and then we traded him. Another guy that really burns my head is Eric Brewer. I think he was 25 at the time that we dealt him for Chris Pronger, along with Jeff Wojtka and Doug Lynch. And Jeff Wojtka and Doug Lynch, that was a result of bad drafting, right? And Eric Brewer, we dealt him away because he was too old. Okay? That's why Kevin Lowe said it himself back in 2005 that Eric Brewer was too old to be part of the team. He was 25. Okay? Robert Nelson, Rob Shrimp, Linus Omark, or Linus, whichever way you want to put the name. Just a few guys. Marc-Antoine Pouliot. I don't know if I said him already, but Jeff Durand Delorier. There's a few guys that, they haven't been developed properly, and that's a major issue. And that's part of why, where we are where we're at today. We didn't have very good development the past probably 15 years, since 2000. Ever since Glenn Sather left the organization, we've gone south. And, we stayed competitive for the first, 2000s for a bit. But, after that, between 2000 and 2006, we were decent. We were making the playoffs. We were pushing. We were doing all right. But, the lack of development, it takes its toll at one point, right? Even you look at the Blackhawks, the Red Wings. The Red Wings are a great example of great drafting and great development. Every one of their players that goes through their system that is drafted and or signed as a free agent prospect or drafted as a prospect, they have to play 125 American Hockey League games before they really even get a look in the NHL. They may still go to training camp and whatnot, but when it comes to regular season, they're back down in Grand Rapids getting seasoned up. I like to base off Detroit's model for development because Detroit, they will develop a guy until he's overripe. Once he's overripe, he's got an easier transition to the National Hockey League because he's taken the organization. They've driven into him that we want you to be at your best and we don't want you to struggle when you're in the National Hockey League, right? So as a result, they play in Grand Rapids with the Griffins. And, as a result of good drafting, getting a little bit lucky, really good points are Thomas Holmstrom, Pavel Datsyuk, and Henrik Zetterberg. Getting lucky in the draft, but also drafting properly. Not drafting for the best player available, but drafting for positional need. Right? And as a result, if they make the playoffs this season, it'll be, I think, the 25th or 26th straight year that the Detroit Red Wings have made the Stanley Cup playoffs. And that's where that's what brings me to this vlog tonight, guys. It's that's the Oilers' problem mainly is their inability to draft properly Their inability to draft by positional need instead of let's just get the best player available. I understand the first overall pick scenario where, hey, he's the best player available, so let's take him. I understand that. But there comes a point in time where you got to draft for positional need. And if you don't do that, 5-6 years down the road, you're going to have a lot of trouble with your franchise and trying to be successful in the standings, trying to win games, all this stuff, right? And that's what the Oilers are dealing with now. And it's not mainly because of the coaching carousel that we had going on before Mr. McClellan and Mr. Peter Chiarelli joined the organization. It's also because of the inability to draft well, the inability to find talent that you may find that may have a shot in the National Hockey League, that has a possible future. I mean, let's not forget, outside the third round, I think it's like a 5% chance or something you're making the National Hockey League outside the third round. So with that being said, I mean, you need a lot of luck, right? And to have a lot of luck too, you need good scouts. And we didn't, before Peter Chiarelli came, we did not have a very good scouting staff. Like, we didn't. I mean, with all due respect to the Glory Day Oilers, we had Dave Semenko scouting prospects. With all due respect to Dave, love you, Sammy, love you completely. But we don't need guys, enforcers scouting talent. I mean, yeah, they might know it a little bit, but you want guys that have a really, really good eye, and maybe he did. But the track record of the draft proves that not only him, but most of the scouting staff for the amateur staff didn't have a good eye. And that's why, a lot of our guy, I mean, you've got Nuge, you got Eberle, you got Hall, you got McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse, Klefbom, but guess what, guys and gals? They're all first-round picks. They are all first-round picks. There's four there, or three for sure. Hall, McDavid, Yakupov, even. I mean, I know I just listed them off again, but they're first overalls, and they're gonna play right away. Whereas, you look at a team like Detroit or Chicago. I mean, teams that are being successful. Chicago's winning cups, for crying out loud. They've got players, that were third round beyond prospects. So a lot of it is luck, but you gotta also, like I said, you gotta have the good eye for talent. And the Oilers, that's one department where they've really, really struggled. And that's my opinion, personally, of one of the many things that is wrong with the organization. Now, I will say, under the Peter Chiarelli era that we've begun, the first offseason, the very first draft, the Peter Chiarelli draft, as I like to call it personally, all of our prospects from the Peter Chiarelli draft, they're having career years of where they're playing right now. Okay? And that's because Peter Chiarelli, he's got an eye for talent. He's got that eye. He knows what to look for. And previously, we have never really had that eye. I mean, when Steve Tambellini became the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, what's one of the first things he did? He scrapped the U of A Oilers rookies game. I mean, you can't do that. You can't. And, that mistakes and mistakes and mistakes by this regime. I mean, Kevin Lowe's been with the organization since, I think, like 98 or 2000. I mean, I know he's in business. I understand that and I get that, but I still think that he should not be involved with the organization in any capacity because of what us fans have had to deal with for the past, 15 years at least. I mean, it's absolute crap. And I understand Nicholson wants to keep him in there because, he's a smart hockey guy. Whatever, I get that. That's whatever. Nicholson is the expert, not me. My point is that I don't agree with having Kevin Lowe still employed. I don't think he should be collecting a check from the Oilers Entertainment Group or Daryl Cage for that matter. I don't think he should, but that's just my opinion. All right, so this is 3 Points Dave for BeerLeagueHeroes.com. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Hemmer91. That is HEMMER91, all one word. This is Dave for All Things Oilers News and Notes, presented by Beer League Heroes. I want you all to have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. I gotta get something off my chest right now that's been bugging me. My previous vlog, I had some guys that they called me out. I won't cut corners. They kind of schooled me on some topics. Last night, I kind of think it was one of probably the worst vlog I've made. I was pissed off. I was upset that the Oilers played the way that they did. I was upset, and I just find myself, you just get carried away, kind of thing. Sometimes, I let my emotions get the best of me, and I shouldn't do that, quite frankly. Laurent Brossoit last night was not his first start. I was corrected in one of my comment sections of my vlog. It was actually his second start. He started previously this season against Winnipeg, and then he started last season. So it was actually his third start. With that being said, he's a rookie. So let's give him some time. As far as there were some comments made about back-to-back games, and quite frankly, I'll stick with my opinion. They're professional hockey players, and whether or not you're tired, you still got to work hard. You're not going to go into your regular day job, on a Tuesday and say, well, I work back to back, so I'm missing a dog. I'm missing a dog. Just dog F-bomb all day. That gets you fired. And I in my opinion, being a fan of the game, I expect the players, whether you're tired or not, you got to work. And I got some hate. Everyone has their own opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has their own opinion. I'm not going to get into the entire details of the comments, but there was some stuff that I got schooled on, but there was also some stuff that I completely disagree with. But that's just my opinion. Everyone has one, right? But I do apologize for my childish acts in the previous vlog. I apologize for getting carried away and, quote unquote, losing it. And, I'm going to try to make it a little bit better of an experience. They're going to still get animated because I'm a passionate guy. I'm an emotional guy. I'm a diehard fan of the Edmonton Oilers. I bleed orange and blue, right to the core.